The graph has been going up ever since I started, because I started with one client, like that, it went on growing like that, and then it really shot in the COVID times. So
shut up.
Yeah. I was not expecting that, because we closed down studios. We closed down, so
And people are not supposed to meet.
and people are not supposed to move around, and we were so used, like what we knew was yoga has to be physical, the teacher has to be there with you and all that, until COVID taught us that this thing can be taught online. We get questions like, is this a religion? Because they associate it with Hinduism, because the yoga sounds Hinduism, but yoga is a functional fitness. It's just that the term yoga is in the Hindu, because Indians have practiced this from the ancient times, and it's a practice that we have borrowed. But Africans started this yoga.
I agree.
You agree with me? That's good. At least someone knows. So my internship was ending. Nilikuwa nafaa kurudi Nairobi. Hey, I was like, where can I find this in Nairobi? So this teacher directed me to a studio in Nairobi. It's called Africa Yoga Project in Parklands, High Ridge. And he actually referred me, go and look for these two teachers there. Tell them I referred you there.
Hey, Noni.
Hey, Ken.
Welcome to MoneyMatters.
Asante.
This time is live, not
Yeah,
on Zoom.
yeah.
Nice to see you.
Asante, welcome
And
home.
Thank you. Been here for a while now, almost going back, so feeling a bit sad.
Oh yeah, but it's good we have this conversation on one-on-one.
It is, and it's also nice to sometimes meet clients and like real relationships with the clients.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Ken's Money Matters again. From baking, which is mostly standing, to tattoo artists, mostly lying down, to now right on the floor. And I can see I'm very flexible, honestly. Welcome to Ken's Money Matters. And on our Real Money segment, like I said, this Real Money, we talk about real stuff by amazing people, normal everyday people doing amazing stuff, doing different stuff, starting different ideas, doing different businesses, and you will see the variety of people we bring on. So I have another interview today which is going to blow your mind, because it's very different from what you expect usually on Money Matters. So welcome to Ken's Money Matters. As usual, it's going to be amazing. And remember, here at Ken's Money Matters, we talk about the money mindset, how to make that money, how to enjoy that money, how to manage that money, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income, basically financial freedom. And today we have a yogini, Noni, who is my good friend, my client, finance coaching client, and she's going to tell us about yoga business. Did you even think about that? So yes, she's going to tell us her name, what she does, and everything else that she'd want to speak about yoga. I'm also quite green on this, so I'm going to be learning with you.
Hi guys, my name is Noni Mudhoni. I'm a yoga teacher, and right here where we are, this is a yoga studio. It's called Shakti Studios 254. You can check us out on the social media. So what I do here is teach yoga. Otherwise, we have other disciplines that we offer. You can learn that from our social media. And when I began teaching yoga, I didn't think about it as business. For me, it started as something I was doing it for my own being, for my own well-being, just because I loved working out since I was young. I was very playful. I started with gymnastics, and then no, it's not what I studied for. First of all, after high school, I studied for hotel management. I finished. I worked in the hotel business until it reached a point when I couldn't get time to do my own things outside work, which one of them included working out, going to the gym or running around.
Okay, so Noni,
Yes.
Thank you so much for the opportunity once again. And basically, like I told you last time, this segment is about real people doing real businesses. And it's not anyone who has any particular help with regards to big names or any proper financial backing, but someone who is just doing something different from where they are, from a very common ground, you understand?
Yeah.
It's basically to encourage other people out there to start their own ideas, their own businesses, because people have ideas. But sometimes they're fearful into venturing, not knowing what they would find.
Yeah.
So when I talk to people like you, then it really tells us, you know what, this is something that's doable, and people are doing it. And that's why I'm here today.
Yes.
So I just basically want to know about your journey. It's not an interview as such, it's basically listening to your story and trying to understand, okay, how did you get to the yoga business, which is very niche, like. So tell me, number one, even before we get into yoga, have you been employed before, and are you employed now, or are you just doing yoga?
I have been employed before.
Okay.
I used to work in the hotel business for like 2 years, and then now I'm not employed.
Oh, now you're not employed?
No.
So was that your first employment, the hotel?
No. Straight after high school, nilianza kuhustle, so I was doing transcription in an office for about 1 year.
Okay.
And then while I was in campus, I was still doing business, but now as my own boss. But I also worked in an office where I was employed, and then now I entered into the hotel. Alafu nikaona siwezi kuwa employed tena.
Why not employment?
Because I felt like I could turn my passion into business.
But by that time ulikuwa ushajua passion ya yoga.
Your time?
Not
Your
yet.
time?
Okay, so let's go this. So you were actually employed for some time. You've been employed before.
Yes.
But the hotel employment was the last one, then to yoga.
Yes.
Okay, so someone actually was asking me, my director, someone here being my director, like, is she Kenyan? Nikamwambia, of course she's Kenyan. Because you know why? But I understand his question, because most people do not understand the yoga. Even me, when we spoke the first time, I was like, yoga, you just sit down and try to meditate and things like that. Which you corrected me very fast and like, no, you have to come for classes. So it's a very niche field and not very common. How did you get into the field of yoga? From hotel industry into yoga?
So this is very interesting. While I was working in a hotel, I was in Diani, and they used to offer yoga classes for the guests. So I was in the spa and gym department. That was just an addition. It was not from my curriculum. So there was this room whereby on Friday evenings I'd see guests walk in with a mat, and then they were wearing beautiful tights.
Like this one?
Yeah, yeah, like these ones. And then they'd enter and then close the curtains, and then it would be so silent, but there'd be like background music. So one time I decided to peep. So I peeped, and I was really fascinated on what I saw. Like, guys were stretching, and I could tell on their faces they were feeling really nice. The teacher was very like flowy, in tune with his students. So I decided to wait. All this was illegal. I was supposed to be in my shift. I decided to wait until that class ended so I can talk to the teacher and ask what is this that you're doing? I feel very connected.
Was the teacher Kenyan?
Male, yeah.
Okay.
So after the class, I reached out. I was like, what is this that you're doing? It's yoga. Okay, what is yoga? So he offered me a class the next Friday to just come for free. I was like, you just come, be in the session, and then you can ask me questions afterwards. Hey, I was waiting for that Friday.
You are really intrigued by yoga.
Yes, I felt like it reminded me of when I was a child in the gymnastics club in primary. Yeah, because there were some things I used to do, and I saw the adults are doing this thing. What is it? Yeah, so when I went on Friday, let me tell you, I felt like I had been dead, and then I had been reborn on that Friday evening.
Wow, that's strong.
Damn, I felt even longer, I mean, taller.
Yeah.
More open. I felt so new.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I was on internship that time. So my internship was ending. Nilikuwa nafaa kurudi Nairobi.
Okay.
Hey, I was like, where can I find this in Nairobi? So this teacher directed me to a studio in Nairobi. It's called Africa Yoga Project in Parklands, High Ridge. And he actually referred me, go and look for these two teachers there. Tell them I referred you there. So when I came back to Nairobi, I was working in another hotel. And then I'd save my off days to go to that studio and practice.
Yeah.
Every Saturday for 2 years.
For 2 years?
Self-practice, yes.
Wow.
For 2 years. And then now after the 2 years, there was this call for sponsorship for guys who want to train to become teachers. I was like, I'm applying. I'm applying and I have to get it. Like, I sent it out to the university here. So I applied and I felt this strong urge to resign at my work without knowing whether I have acquired the scholarship or not. Because it got to a point whereby Saturday was no longer my off day.
Okay.
So I had stayed for a while without going for yoga classes, and I started feeling that aspect of shutting down again, because the hotel business is crazy. It is. Oh my God, it's very busy.
Yeah.
And you have minimal time for rest, but it was enjoyable. It's something I also loved doing because it's what I went to school to study for.
Yeah.
So one time, mimi nilingia hotel too, and then I just needed a trigger. The manager triggered me, and I was like, you know what? I'm asking for my letter now. I'm going to resign.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to the director of food and beverage. I was like, give me my resignation letter. He's like, why? You're one of our best. I was like, I'm sure about this. And he told me, just go and think about it, then come back again. When you're sure, I'll know when you're sure. I didn't even leave that office. I was like, I need my letter now. I'm signing.
Ooh.
And he was like, you know what? I'm sending you to my assistant. I can't believe this. So he sent me to his assistant, and I was very sure I want to sign this paper.
Yeah.
So nilipewa shingo upande.
They didn't want to let you go?
No. They didn't want me to go. Nilipewa hiyo barua shingo upande, na wao walikataa kusign. So they refused to approve my resignation up to date.
Really?
So I never went back to clear, to even collect, like to return my uniforms, nini. So if they did not break my locker to get their things, their uniforms all out of there, Miss Jawai Rudy.
Wow, nice. So that's interesting. You just decided you had a very strong urge for yoga. It seems the universe aligned for you even from the first time you saw those guys in
I felt it,
Because you say you just went there once,
and
you felt different.
I felt so different.
So this was meant for you.
But
again, you're saying, you see, you were in gymnastics earlier, so it's like the universe knew exactly where you wanted
my path,
to go into. Okay, now the main question that people actually want to know: how did you turn it? So did you get the scholarship?
Yeah,
first of all?
I did.
You got
it was the happiest day of my life.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did.
And this school is in Kenya?
It's in Parklands.
In Parklands.
It's the only school in Africa.
Oh, really?
Yes.
For those who want to train yoga. Okay, so doesn't mean anyone can get into this kind of program?
Yes. I remember in my training we had teachers from Sierra Leone, Ghana, South Africa. We were all here.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many are you at the time you were training?
120.
Was it a full scholarship, or did you pay any money to part of it?
So some of us was full sponsorship.
Okay.
And then there are those who paid.
Okay.
Like there's an option to pay.
All right. How much is it if someone is just going there to pay?
250,000.
How long is the program?
So in that school we trained, like we were taken somewhere and we were trained exclusively for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's
out of Nairobi.
Out of Nairobi, so we don't go back home.
Right.
It's quite intense.
Also, the 250,000 for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, and then after that, you enroll for the academy for 3 years.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Now that you have shown me some things about yoga involves flexibility and being fit. So, if someone who feels that they're not flexible would get into the program, what happens? Would you go for 2 weeks and do that intense program? Or you first have to be fit on your own? You are in gymnastics, so yours is different. Now think of someone like probably maybe me, who is not flexible enough to just get into that. Would that happen?
Yes, you would not be shut down completely, but you would be advised to do your own practice first. Come for class, be with other students, learn from other teachers, and then that would even help you know if this is really something you want to do. Because you have to be the student first before you can be the teacher.
Yeah.
So you need to do the yoga self-practice. So it can give you the surety that this is something I love for me first before I can teach it to someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you resign from your job, you get into yoga, you get a scholarship, you go for proper training for 2 weeks. What happens after that?
So I joined an academy for 3 years.
After the
Immediately, yeah, because now that's where we do theory, we get into the details of of yoga anatomy, yoga studies. There's
Wow.
practical and theory.
Yeah.
So I actually graduated this year December.
Oh, really? Congratulations. This
Asante.
is December.
This year
Last
December.
year, you mean last year?
Sorry, last year.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So you just graduated? A few weeks old?
Yes.
Wow, congratulations. I didn't know that. You didn't say.
Yeah.
That's not nice. That's not nice. Congratulations. I owe you a gift.
Asante. Yeah.
Anyway, so the academy, where is it?
In Parklands.
It's the same one.
Yeah,
that gave you the 2 weeks. Oh, so you just don't join it for full program.
Yeah. So now what happens because people came from other countries,
Okay.
there's an online program for those people outside Nairobi, and for us who are within Nairobi, we used to go.
Oh, okay.
Like ni kama kwenda shule, going for class.
Full time?
No. We went 3 times a week. First year, second year 2 times a week, third year I think 1 day a week. But we have like assignments and all that.
Okay, but now you say you just graduated. So I'm just trying to get, at what point did you transition and decided, you know what, this actually can end up being something that I can also do as a business? Because initially you just did it out of, you were interested, you got, a scholarship. But now at what point did you decide, you know what, I think I would like to do this as a business and, as I enjoy it, make money out of it?
You know what? I felt so ready. I started immediately after the 2 weeks.
Oh, after 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
So-
started teaching.
How do you start that? Because yoga, like, I'm just saying, I'm from where I'm from, whichever estate. Then I just go and study yoga for 2 weeks, and then I come back. Then what? I start telling people that I'm a yoga teacher.
So normally those 2 weeks, I had been practicing for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I had some little bit of background. So I knew the sequence. Yeah. So in those 2 weeks, we are taught how to conduct a class.
Oh, okay.
How to conduct a class. And then immediately after those 2 weeks, we are given assignments to find organized groups. Even if you would find your neighbors, teach them. Then that's how you practice to conduct a class.
Wow. Okay. So
That's an assignment. Like you have to come back and report, I taught 20 people in my community. This class happens on Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Like we need to send those reports so that our empowerment coaches or our teachers
yeah.
can easily pop into that class and see how you're doing and be able to guide you through.
How did you get your first people?
So my brother was a football player. So I was teaching his the team.
The teammates.
The teammates.
That was easy for you.
That was easy. Yeah.
You need to be thankful to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so at that point now you decided, you know what, you want to now train people. Making it a business, how did you make the decision? Because of course you can train people.
Yes.
But then there's that transition into now making this a business, whereby you now want to make money. You want to decide on what price are you want to charge. You want to look for clients, for example. How do you start? You want to find a studio or something, right?
Yes.
Because you can't do it anywhere, huh? So how did you make that transition now into full proper business for you?
So my yoga school, apart from teaching you, it empowers you to turn that into a business.
Yeah.
So we have these business classes whereby we are told this is how you conduct a class, this is how long the class should be, this is how you handle a client, this is how much you charge for a class.
Oh, so they give you all those details?
Yes, because it needs to be standard through across the country.
So I can't just come and learn yoga and then charge you for 100,000.
No, we're gonna come for you.
So
Spoiling the market for us.
Is that like a body that controls the market?
Yes, we are told this is the minimum
Yeah.
and this is the maximum.
That you can charge?
Yes.
So there's like a range?
Yes, there's a
How
range.
much which you will actually tell us because some people want to know, right?
Yes.
I hope that's fine. Okay, so now I'm getting your journey. So hotel, then scholarship, then academy, which you just graduated, and of course you made it a business after 2 weeks. So as you are running the academy, going to school, you are actually training people already.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
So you're just getting better and better. Okay, now my questions now start. In African homes, we know how things are, you know. I've interviewed a tattoo artist before, I told you that.
Yeah.
And there are certain fields in our system, in our society, that are still not viewed as serious fields, I would say. And for example, I think if I told my mom yoga, she'd be like, Ken, what the hell are you talking about, right?
Yes.
So how did you approach your parents? You are, I believe, traditional parents, and told them, Dad, you know what, that hotel management, I'm done with it. I'm now getting into yoga. They were like, how did that happen?
Now, when I came back to Nairobi and started working in a hotel here, I immediately moved out of my parents' house. And they were like, okay, she's working, she can do life on her own.
Yeah.
So the moment I went back and said I am no longer working in the hotel, my father was like,
African
so
parents.
what next? Are you gonna go into another hotel? I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. What do you mean? So are you planning to come back to this house?
They did want to there.
I told him no.
Uh-huh.
So do you have a job tomorrow? No. How are you gonna do this? And then I started saying, I have been doing this yoga. I have even gone for training, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, they didn't know.
Oh, no.
I like that.
They didn't know. So I'm trying to explain to them what yoga is, but they're not understanding what is this, what is yoga. So me, I had to find easy ways of making them understand. I said it's a form of fitness. So I'm like a fitness trainer.
Oh, yeah, nice,
so that's
nice.
easy for them to understand. So they're like,
yeah.
as a woman, how? Like, how are you going to do that? Who are you going to be teaching? I just told them, just give me some time. Yeah. I'll be okay. I'll keep coming back to you to make you understand better. Yeah. So I think one thing I'm grateful for is for them allowing me the time and believing in me, and also knowing the fact that I'm still welcome if things go down south.
I don't think they welcome you by the way they ask. Yeah, they'll just take you because you're their child.
Oh, but a great question they asked me was, so we took you to school, paid all that money, and then now you're done. You need to do something greater, so we're waiting to see. Like, okay.
Oh, that was a good question anyway.
Yeah.
But education anyway, it gives you foundation.
Yes.
So you actually, it was not wasted money, for sure.
That's what they, yeah.
But they don't see it that way. Our parents always want to see, I took you to school to study law, you need to be doing law.
Yes.
But education is just a foundation.
Yeah. In fact, my dad wanted me to do nursing. He was ready. He had a school in mind. Me, I was like, no, I'm doing hotel management.
Okay.
So hapo ndo conflict zilianza. Alafu sasa tena nakuja namwambia
yoga tena. Sasa ushamchukua do yani.
Yeah.
Huyu msichana huyu. Okay, so now you told your parents, now the people around you, like, I can imagine telling people around you that, what, nimeresign job, mimi naenda yoga. How did they take it? Because yoga, honestly, people like, what?
Yeah. I'd say those people were my colleagues back in the hotel. They're like, you're leaving to do yoga. How? What? What do you mean? I was like, even me, I don't know. But that's where I feel comfortable. I'll just do it, see how it flows. You know what? I can always come back to the hotel.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. I actually tell most people that sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith in the things that you want to do. And you don't have to be comfortable or in a perfect position to do it. You don't have to have everything aligned, like all the stars and the moon aligned to do it. You need to just jump sometimes. If you have that instinct, that deep feeling that, you know what, this is where I need to be and this is what I need to be doing. So that's a good lesson to learn actually from Noni.
Yeah.
Now, you've done yoga, people have accepted it, you've started the process now, you're training people.
Can I also say something else before we move on? So one other thing that helped me stay grounded in my decision was my teachers in school. Like, they were a perfect example of, these guys are doing yoga full time. They have families. They have their lives running. Wow. And then I was like, hey, in the hotel, I work this amount of hours. But these guys they work a few hours. They have time to do other things. Like, their life just seemed so perfect. I was like, I want to do this. So it was reassuring. And then in class, they used to tell us, this thing is doable. People in the world need yoga. Like, there's so many lifestyle diseases going on. You are needed. So we were constantly reminded that we are important. We are needed. So it kept me grounded.
So maybe like you had like mentors.
Yes, mentors, exactly.
Before you.
Yeah.
Okay, now the money aspects. Now I know you told me how much someone would need, for example, to get into the academy, for example. But now with regards to, now you want to have this as your main income source. How does that go? How long will it take you? What are we looking at in terms of returns if you start training people? What would you expect someone who is new in the field to make?
I feel like now in Kenya, because yoga is still very new, we need to put a lot more effort on advertising.
Yeah.
Because we need to get more people to learn about this yoga so that we can tell them how much they need it.
Yeah.
Because them, they don't know they need it. So I'd still say it's a challenge. But in Nairobi, there's so many yoga practitioners. Like we have studios in Westlands, we have studios here in Kilimani. Yeah. We have so many people doing yoga in Nairobi other than other counties. So I'd say maybe teachers in other counties are finding it more challenging than us here because there's word out there. Even in our studio, there was a free class every Saturday. And I'd tell you for sure, 400 people used to show up.
400?
400 Nairobians.
Wow.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think it would be that big.
Yes. So you can imagine after class, 400 people, everyone going to share about the yoga. I'd feel like that has helped us find it a bit easier to reach people. We also, even through the assignments, like we were told, you need to find 2 groups. So it was upon you as the teacher to go and find, either speak to a school, speak to a church group, speak to, like, you need to put yourself out there. So we were forced to push ourselves to put ourselves out there. And it has really helped us because that is how I started getting clients.
Oh yeah, because I think it would be challenging getting clients with a niche field if you don't have like an entry point.
Yes.
So it means you have to be really network with people in the field and do those free classes, because those are the people you speak to and you tell about. What did I make from yoga? How much money?
So a class right now is 3,000. One session. Yeah, a private class.
A private session. So if I book one, like I want to book with you, I will have to pay 3K.
3,000, and I am coming to your home.
Oh, you come to my home?
Yes.
I don't have to come to the studio?
No. If you're coming to the studio, then most studios, a pop-up class is 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're a group of people, it's cheaper. When I am coming to your home, that's when you pay 3,000, and your family is welcome to join.
And the session is just it's 1 hour?
Just 1 hour.
Just 1 hour.
Let me tell you, even by the time 30 minutes are reaching, you're like, okay, it feels like a whole day.
Okay, so we're looking at 3,000 per session.
And that's a one-off.
Yeah.
So there's an option to take a package, like you say, me, I want to do 10 sessions in this month.
Okay.
Then I give you a discount of 5,000. So you pay 25,000.
Oh.
So it's cheaper to take a package
than to
pay single sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the amount you can make is basically just dependent on how many clients you get.
Yes.
Okay. But realistically, what would be someone's expectation? Like you, realistically, a minimum expectation amount?
Let's say 2 clients at least.
2 clients at least.
Yeah.
So that will give you, but the 2 clients will not just do 1 session each. The 2 clients will do maybe more sessions.
Yes.
Okay, so let's assume that the 2 clients do even 10 sessions each. That's 20 sessions. You give them a discount of that's 50K.
Yeah.
50K, yeah?
Yes.
That's a good amount of money, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to look for 2 clients in a month, that's a long time to actually get 2 clients.
Yeah.
So it's a really good business, to be honest. Maybe I should be a yoga.
You should a yoga teacher.
I should be a yoga teacher. I should join you.
You should.
Yeah, because you can actually survive. So right now you don't do any other thing besides yoga.
This is my full time.
This is your full time.
Yeah.
Full time business now.
Yes.
Do you have like a company, or like do you have a company, or how does it work?
It's in the making. Noni the Yogini.
Noni the Yogini.
Yeah. Like a brand, yeah.
So the brand is coming up with time, right?
Yes.
That's interesting. So what did you tell most people want to, but before we get into that story, challenges specifically of this field?
Yeah. Challenges.
How do you overcome them?
Yes. Challenges, especially because I'd say our country is a religious country. So most people usually, we get questions like, is this a religion? Because they associate it with Hinduism. Because the yoga sounds Hinduism, but yoga is a functional fitness. It's just that the term yoga is in the Hindu, because Indians have practiced this from the ancient times, and it's a practice that we have borrowed. But Africans started this yoga.
I agree.
You agree with me? That's good. At least someone knows.
Agree,
Yeah, but I'd say Indians have shown us a really good example in actually incorporating it into their lives until now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now with everything that happened to us in the colonial times, there's so many things that were taken away from us, which is sad. So we get a lot of questions like, so what is this Hinduism you're teaching us? What is this religion you're teaching us? But I always understand the person who's asking the question, and then that would help me know how to respond to their level of understanding. Like, you see how I told my mom and dad, this is a functional fitness.
Yeah.
Kufunga tu story mob. Because literally, this is an exercise. Yeah, it's an exercise. It's a form of fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you
so
show us a few moves because usually people have this notion, which I had, remember, of you just sit down and meditate. It's actually not yoga.
No.
And
It's part of.
It's part of yoga,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yoga is quite actually intense. People never know that. So maybe you should give us one very difficult move that people will not do at home, so that they can know that yoga is not that simple. Anyway, so one question that I missed, but I want to ask: realistic expectation of how much someone will make monthly if you're consistent. Realistic expectation of, if I want to do this, how much am I looking at? If I'm consistent, I have some clients, things are going normally. I just want an average.
An average, I'd say, if I take out the fluctuations,
Yeah.
and someone who has been in the industry for quite some time, so they are established and they have their clients already, I'd say from 70,000.
70,000 average, right?
Average.
Yeah, and on a good month, of course, it will go way higher than that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. People need to do this, or you think it's full? Do you think we need
No,
more
we need.
trainers?
Oh my goodness, the world needs us.
Really? So a lot of people need to be encouraged to get into this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely story. So how has the business grown for you? Just your brand so far?
So far, the graph has been going up ever since I started, because I started with one client, like that, it went on growing like that. And then it really shot in the COVID times. So,
shot up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that, because we closed down studios. We closed down, so...
And people are not supposed to meet and
and people are not supposed to move around, and we were so used, like, what we knew was yoga has to be physical, the teacher has to be there with you and all that, until COVID taught us that this thing can be taught online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
which is a good innovation, though.
exactly.
Yeah.
Me, I'm so grateful for that aspect that
yeah.
COVID taught me. Yeah, so we had people stay at home, maybe just adapt to very abnormal habits like eating, unhealthy and all that, and feeling stressed from the screen time all the time. So people started to look for alternative ways to still keep active, but without having to step out of their homes.
Okay.
So we had luckily my clients who I had, they stuck with me. So we transitioned to online. They shared the word with other people. So that's how it grew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So just in conclusion, and you've been giving us a good interview and a long one, and we're going to do just a shot of your studio just to show people how amazing it looks.
Yeah,
And the
this
view
studio is
amazing.
beautiful. Please come to Shakti. We have so many.
Yeah, and
Shakti.
the view here is just awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so cool in here. So
Very
anyway, so what would you tell young people who would want to get into this industry? What would be your advice?
My advice, especially for those who feel like they want to venture into yoga or fitness training, first of all, it has to be your passion. Because if it's not your passion, you will be called for a class at 4 a.m. and you'd be like, no, I'd rather sleep.
Yeah.
That's how you will lose it. But if you feel fulfilled by sharing the practice with someone and seeing how it's transforming their lives, it would always make you wake up, even at that 4 a.m. every day, and still go, showing up. Because it's something that I have learned. I have seen teachers that I trained with and they dropped off. Yeah, simply because they either had other things that were more passionate for them than the yoga. So they were struggling, even with assignments. So in anything that you do, make sure you love it first of all before you venture into it. Because first of all, when you love it, then you put more energy and always feel like your life is enjoyable. Yeah.
Nice advice to people. I like that. So anyway, my final, not really final question. I'm really saying final, but not final, to be honest.
Yeah.
So the business right now, as we speak, apart from this financial side, what are the other benefits of just doing yoga as a business? What are the other benefits? Forget about the money.
Okay.
What would you say is the other benefit of it?
The benefit is that, one other benefit is that it allows you the ability to curate how you want to work, because you become your own boss. Yeah, because you're working, you choose who your clients, who you want to be your client. You choose when you want to work, how many times you want to work in a week. And other than, unless you are fully working for studios, because that means then you're employed by the studio. Yeah, but also you can work in the studio part-time, like I do, and most of the times you're doing work by yourself, like
So
you're
it's very
managing.
flexible.
Yeah, very, very flexible,
the
because
freedom. I like freedom.
a class is just 1 hour.
Oh my god, and you finished your day. Oh, that's amazing. I'm sure so many people are going to join yoga because of that.
Please
So
join.
congratulations
you.
for how far you come
Asante.
with yoga as a business. I'm sure very few people knew this, and very few people thought you can actually survive and make money doing
Yeah,
yoga. So
yeah.
that's a big lesson for most people, including myself, to be honest. When we first met, of course, and I did finance coaching with Noni, and it was amazing. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And yeah, you should come for finance coaching. You see, people are doing amazing stuff. I'm aligning finances too as we do business. So, anyways, some of the final remarks. Number one, I would want to know, how do people find you? That's one. But besides that, we also need to know what are the benefits of yoga, because you need to talk to them, tell them why they should come to, what do you say the name is of the place? Not the
Shakti. Shakti, yes.
Why they should come to Shakti and not other studios. The value provided here. And of course, how to find you, definitely. And anything else that you'd want to say, feel free, market yourself as much as you do that.
Okay. So as I said, my name is Noni. So you can find me on the socials as Noni the Yogini. A Yogini is a female practitioner for
You
yoga.
told me,
And a male is a yogi, but mostly we use the word yogi. So I'm Noni the Yogini on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, you can write to me if you have any inquiries. And you can also send your questions to Ken's MoneyMatters. We shall chat there. Yeah. I teach private classes and I teach group classes. So group classes, I'm here at Shakti. We have yoga, we have aerials. Aerials are disciplines that happen around the air. We use the silks, the hoops. We have pole. Yes, pole dancing is a fitness. Yeah. And we also have something very interesting. It's called poi. Poi is fire dancing.
Fire. Oh, I've seen that.
You've seen, yeah. So Shakti is wholesome. It's wholesome in terms of offering different disciplines, but the foundation for everything else that happens here is yoga. Yeah, because for you to be able to find it easy on the pole or the hoop, first of all, we begin from the mat. We need to open and stretch our muscles and all that. So please find Shakti Studios 254 on their socials.
And what are the benefits of yoga? That's what they know.
Oh, yes. So yoga, first of all, it strengthens your body. Strengthens because we use body weight. We don't use external equipment. You only need your mat and yourself. So you will gain a lot of body strength. You will gain a lot of flexibility. Yeah. You will also get in tune with your body. Like it allows you to become in tune. Yeah, because we do a lot of breath work. And with breath comes a lot of awareness in the body. So even as you stretch, you get to learn, okay, this is how far my body can get. Okay, my left side feels like this. And then now, the reason you keep coming back is to create a balance within you. Yeah, and you also get to relax. You get to improve your emotional intelligence, your mental well-being. And from that, you get to strengthen your internal well-being in order to be able to deal with the external. That means work pressures, people out there, and everything else. So you need to first of all strengthen your internal well-being in order to stay away from things like depression, anxiety, all that. I realize that it helps when you start, first of all, improve how you work, you do your own internal well-being. And yoga is really a good foundation for that, because When you come to the mat, it's all about you. And the teacher is only there to guide you through the journey of self. Yeah. Please come. Yeah.
So are you supposed to show me one or two moves?
Yes. I will teach you a very simple pose, but it's very engaging. Like it works your entire body. It's only downward facing dog. I won't do things that are gonna shock people and keep them away from coming.
No, I don't think so. I think they're very interested in coming.
So there's this pose we call downward facing dog. So you can use this mat.
Okay. Should I stand?
Yeah, please. You take the cushion off. All right,
Okay,
so
I'm ready, yeah.
come to your hands and knees. Hands and knees. On all fours. Yeah. So usitoke nje ya mat. Songa mbele. Yeah, so ensure your shoulder is in line with your wrist on a straight line. Yeah. And then now move your hands a little bit forward. There. And then your hips hip width distance apart. Your knees hip width distance apart. Then always spread out your fingers on the yoga mat. Why? To access the four corners of your palms without you get to protect your wrist. Okay? So what you're about to do is called a downward facing dog. Okay. You might have heard this from the yoga YouTubes and everything. So tuck your toes just as you have done. Press your toes. That way. Lift your knees off the mat. Keep sending your hips up. More. Yes, like that. So draw your chest to your thighs. In. There you go. Wow. So you're pressing your heels towards the mat and then open your feet a little bit wide apart. There you go. Now press your heels down. They don't need to touch. They don't need to touch the floor, but the action is to press as you draw your chest towards your thighs. Okay. So this opens the hamstrings and the back muscles. Can you feel it?
I can feel the back.
You can feel, yeah? It's quite intense, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you add breaths and then engage your core, and you hold about 5 breaths, you'll start to feel like you're sweating.
Really? This is interesting.
This is interesting, yeah. So keep pressing your heels down. Draw your chest more closer to your thighs. Okay, now lift your right leg up.
Lift it up.
Kabisa kwa ceiling, towards the ceiling. Lift. Now bend your knee, right knee only. Right.
Knee only.
Yes. And then open your knee towards the ceiling. Yes, look under your right armpit. Keep stretching. How do you feel? Your arms are shaking, right?
Yes, yeah.
Higher. Lower it down, the left side. We need to balance. Left leg up.
Okay, same thing.
Bend your knee. Open. Look under your left armpit.
Oh!
This one is stretching the side of the torso. Yeah, and also strengthening the arms. As you can see, his muscles are shaking. Yeah. Lower down and come to your hands and knees. Come down to your hands and knees. Drop your knees down. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Actually, I'm already sweating.
See?
I didn't expect this on yoga.
Yeah. And this is just one pose.
Wow.
Now, give yourself an hour. It's a total body transformation.
I need to do this.
You need to. I've been telling you.
Okay. We should book a class. I'm ready.
Yeah? Nice.
I always think I'm quite fit, but it's flexibility.
Yeah. This one is flexibility. And what have you been doing? I don't know. In terms of fitness.
Actually, I just do push-ups. I do pull-ups. Sometimes I do weight when I'm home in London. And yeah, that's it actually.
Yeah, so now in yoga you run. Nice. So I'm going to teach you breath work, how to coordinate your body movements with your breath. So even as you're doing your other forms of fitness, you'll be able to add in your breath and see how it's going to transform your workouts.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm ready.
Great. Yes.
So guys, you know where to find Noni. We'll leave all the social media handles here. And please support these businesses. That's why we're here actually. Visibility. Comment. Let me know what you think about the classes, about the segment, about anything we're saying or doing. And of course, it has to be positive and constructive, not just negative. So guys, thank you so much. Guys, MoneyMatters as usual. See you next time.
Yeah, please remember to tell them how the class will have gone for you.
Oh yeah,
after the class. Come back and tell them.
Definitely tell you how I feel for after 1 hour. I don't think that's even possible.
Yeah, you
Let's
see.
move. Anyway, guys, thank you and see you next time. Stay tuned.